As when it comes to these entertainers, these rappers, these artists, celebrities, singers, whatever, when you see them pose in certain ways, it always means something. They never just pose. The pose is always a signifier for something. Whether you see the devil horns, which is the mano carnuto, or whether you see them throw up the middle finger, which is in veneration of Saturn, the middle finger is for Saturn, or whether you see them throw up the 666 in a surreptitious way, it always means something. And this picture here is no different. This is Westside Gunn, and he's letting you know that he's a holder of the secrets. He's covering his mouth. The majority of his pictures, you see him cover his mouth because it represents the holder of the secrets, keeping the secrets. Whether it be a shush sign or just him putting his hand over his mouth. You got to ask yourself, like, why the fuck do he pose with his hand over his mouth? Like, who takes pictures like that? That's a very weird, like, pose to put your hand over your mouth. The hand over the mouth represents the keeping of the secrets when it comes to the Luciferian aspects of the entertainment industry, as far as what they worship, so on and so forth. That's why they put their hand over their mouth. That's what that represents. It represents the veneration of Harpocrates, the holder of the secrets. That's what Harpocrates represents. It represents the holder of the secrets. So Gunn got mad at me for commenting on this, not on this picture per se, but on one of his most recent pictures. And he blocked me. He blocked me because I was right. Because there's no other reason why you're going to block somebody unless they're right. Unless it's too much for you in terms of them bringing some truthful aspect to what you pushing. So I just wanted to get into it a little bit further. Harpocrates. Harpocrates was the god of silence. So remember, the covering of the mouth represents keeping the secrets. So he was the god of silence. Secrets and confidentiality in the Hellenistic region developed in Ptolemaic Alexandria. We already know Harpocrates just goes back to Heru. That's what Harpocrates goes back to. It's just the Greek version of the Egyptian god known as Horus or Heru, right? According to Plutarch, Harpocrates was adapted by the Greeks from the Egyptian child god Horus. That's what I just said. And this is not nothing that I'm taking from this. This is stuff that I already know based off of my understanding, just from, years and years and years of being familiar with this type of stuff. And it's very important for us to maintain our familiarity so we understand what side we on, what side we should be on, what side we should stay on, so on and so forth. So Egyptian child god Horus, who represented the newborn sun. This is the reason why they push these Luciferian motifs in regards to the color orange. The color orange represents the sun. It's also a play on their worship of Heru or Horus. This is why you see them with, sometimes they pose with the left eye covered and the right eye highlighted, because that represents their worship of the eye of Horus, or, the eye of Providence. Yeah, the eye of Providence. Because the left eye represents, the worship of the moon, or the worship of Selene, the worship of the mother goddess, and the sun, that being Heru. And when you understand the pairing or the connection between the mother goddess and Heru, it's just a play on the mother and the sun. Just when it comes to the understanding of, those people who rebelled against the Heavenly Father, the mother being Semiramis, the son being Nimrod. But also Nimrod and Cush, they're interchangeable in terms of, the allegorical understanding in regards to paganism. Because we already know Cush is the father of Nimrod, and Nimrod married his own mother. So it's all a play on that triumvirate when it comes to Cush, Nimrod, and Semiramis. So Harpocrates' name was a Hellenization of the Egyptian Harpocret or Heru Pocret, meaning Horus the child. Horus is represented as a naked boy with his finger to his mouth, a realization of the hieroglyphic for child. Misunderstanding this gesture, the later Greeks and Roman poets made Harpocrates the god of silence and secrecy. So when you see these celebrities pose with their hand over their mouth, it represents the veneration of Heru Pocret or Harpocrates, Horus, the keeping of the secrets. Okay, so here we are. So this is me right here in the comment section of a photo that Gunn posted on Instagram. It says, why nobody ever asked why Gunn take photos with his hand on his mouth? It's because he's programmed like that, because the pose represents keeping the secrets of what the industry is about. Wes is a Luciferian. That's what the fuck he is. It's the truth. And this is what Wes posts. Use a weird ass nigga, homie. Please don't come back to my shit. Right. Because at the end of the day, what I said was the truth. He didn't deny it. He didn't refute it. He just got mad because that's what they do. And he's a really, really sensitive dude. I follow Gunn. I follow Griselda. I love their music. So I see what they're about. I already know what they're about. I already know what they align with. I know that they're big time Luciferians because I have knowledge of, how things connect in regards to what this pretty much confirms, just based off of what we see in regards to pictures and whatnot. Like if you somebody that studied the understanding when it comes to Luciferianism, and then you put it in context with what these rappers do, the pictures, the colors, you already know about what things mean, then it's not hard to understand. It's not hard to understand. Then you also factor in, the sacrifice with DJ Shay, just based off of my understanding of this group and their come up. And you know about these things just from you studying it. It makes so much sense. After the sacrifice for DJ Shay, that's when they elevated. But it's not just a sacrifice. Everything else about what they push shows you that these people are Luciferians, and it's not hard to understand. I mean, even with this, the man tells me get off my shit, but he blocks me. Like, you could have just left it at get off my shit. You blocking me confirms that what I say triggers you because I'm right. I am right. You are the fly god. Fly god is an allusion to Satan. You are a Luciferian. That's what you are. Hand on mouth represents the worship of Harpocrates, which means holder of the secrets. How am I weird? Because I'm telling the truth about what it is. They only label you weird when you know something that's foreign to what certain people don't have no understanding of. They're not privy to it. Gunn is privy to it because he's in the industry. He talks about it in his raps. He knows about these things. So when he sees a comment like this, it triggers him. It scares him. Because it's like, damn, like, motherfuckers is on to it. Not on to me, but they on to it. Because at the end of the day, on to me will kind of like denote that, oh, like, I'm being exposed. It's not necessarily an expose because at the end of the day, we already know about this shit. I guess you can call it that based off of certain people not being aware. But at the end of the day, we already know about this shit. So, like, it's one of those things where it cannot be denied. You cannot refute this. These people are Luciferians. They do worship Lucifer. It just is what it is. They worship Lucifer.